In any country or society, economic growth alone is an incomplete measure of success. I think we've started to understand this more and more. If a country is not meeting the basic needs of its citizens, if it's not putting in place the circumstances that will allow people to improve the quality of their lives, if there's not opportunity for any citizen to achieve his or her full potential, even if the country is succeeding economically, it's not succeeding as a society. And what we've understand more and more is that if we want truly successful growth, it has to be inclusive growth. And inclusive growth is where economic success occurs, but also social progress occurs at the same time. These things need to happen together if we're truly going to be moving our society forward and creating the foundations for kind of long-term societal success. The Social Progress Index is a comprehensive measurement framework for really understanding rigorously the level of social progress that's being achieved in a society across many, many dimensions, ranging from food and shelter to the environment to tolerance to human rights to inclusion, looking holistically at the health of a society. The index is now in its second year, and it's based on the most complete and rigorous data available, and it is now able to compare performance in 133 countries from really all parts of the world, accounting for the vast majority of the world's population. The Social Progress Index, really for the first time ever, allows benchmarking of social performance that's equally rigorous to the traditional benchmarking of economic performance that is now so well developed, and which I have participated myself as co-chair of the Global Competitiveness Report, for example. The Social Progress Index allows countries to isolate their strengths, their weaknesses in terms of how the society is progressing, how the needs of citizens are being met, and really assess and formulate strategies to really drive more holistic development and inclusive growth. What we find when we look at this new data that we've never really had before is that social progress in a society tends to improve with income. Wealthier countries tend to be more able to meet basic human needs, tend to be able to create more foundations for well-being of their citizens. But what we also find is that this relationship is far from automatic. Just because you're growing your economy and growing GDP per capita does not automatically mean that the lives of citizens are getting better. And certainly the lives of all citizens are getting better. And what we find is that some countries, like Costa Rica, for example, or New Zealand, are able to achieve very high levels of social progress, objectively measured, relative to their income. Whereas other countries, like Russia or even the United States, are really not delivering the social improvement that one would expect with the level of income. So we see these asymmetries. And they're very important because they're really a sign of whether the society is really looking holistically at success, and that the critical components of success of a society are moving together. Where there's an imbalance between economic success and social progress. When economic success is high but social progress is lagging, we find that creates a situation of instability, of social unrest. This was what happened during the Arab Spring. We had countries that were doing well on measured economic growth, but ultimately had not dealt with the fundamental human needs and opportunity of their citizens. We see this same phenomena all over the world. Social progress is important not only for its own sake, because it directly affects citizens, but social progress is also, we believe, fundamental to truly long-term economic success. If a society is not putting in place the fundamental dimensions of social progress, like access to basic knowledge, personal security, health, and other areas, ultimately economic growth will not be able to sustain itself. And so we now, I think we believe very strongly that economic growth and social progress really are synergistic. It's not just economic improves social, but it's also social improves economic. And the Social Progress Index is a tool to allow us to understand much more deeply these relationships, and also to assess how individual countries are progressing on their journey of really improving their society over the long period of time. Social progress and the Social Progress Index offers a far more comprehensive picture of success at the level of a country than we really ever had before. I think it offers a new opportunity for both national leaders and also for citizens to expect and demand and drive improvements so that societies develop in this more holistic and complete way. And I think that today's deep concerns about inclusive growth, I think, can be addressed, but they need to be addressed with such a rigorous and comprehensive way of really measuring how well a society is doing. That's the fundamental goal behind the social progress effort that is now spreading quite widely around the world.